Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're talking about why your team's not working, how CEOs can foster world leadership teams. All right? So, with that being said, how do I unleash my team? Well, think of a highly coordinated top team like the effect of a large stone dropped into a lake. It has a strong ripple effect throughout the organization, and it enables people at all levels to focus on the right things for the business. However, fostering an effective team can be hard because it involves managing people, typically with a variety of personal styles and motivations, and getting them aligned and focused on the right things. Now, as one CEO put it, for the first time in my career, I feel the need to look behind to see if people are following me. Now, listen, the CEO plays the ultimate role in cultivating a high performing team by creating the conditions that allow the team and the larger organization to work together toward shared objectives. CEOs with high performing teams take responsibility for the development of the kind of team the organization needs to achieve its strategic aspirations. So, with that being said, here are 7 questions that every CEO needs to look at and start thinking about what's working and what's not for their team. Number 1, do we have a clear vision and mission? CEOs often assume that the vision and mission of senior leadership teams are self-evident, but it's not unusual for different executives to have varying views on the team's purpose. When the specific role of the team in achieving business goals isn't specifically or explicitly stated and translated into objectives for each team member, it can slow down the decision-making process and cause teams to work at cross purposes and make it harder to get the right things done. Number 2, what kind of leadership team does our business need? Today, more and more unity and collaboration amongst management teams are required. The market requires that organizations be able to change very quickly, but they can't do it if they're working in silos. The highest performing leadership teams recognize their shared responsibility in reading the external context for the business and shepherding the organization to get the outcomes their strategy requires. So together, they set the direction and strategy and help define and role model the culture that supports the strategy. They do this, through the people that they lead and the processes and structures that they've established. Now, they also keep an eye on the organization's informal routines and communications to make sure they are helping to drive the right outcomes. Number 3, do we have the right people? It's not uncommon for CEOs to underestimate the disruption caused by the behavior or underperformance of a few people on the team. Now, CEOs may over-focus on individual outcomes rather than the leadership behaviors that affect team responsibilities and dynamics. They may also lack the visibility into who's carrying more weight than their share of team responsibilities, or who is regarded as a less reliable player by their peers. Or they may not have a good sense of what best in class looks like in an individual functional roles, especially if they have been, or especially if they have spent their entire careers in one organization. Members of top leadership teams not only should be experts in their domain, but should also be able to contribute credibly to key business issues outside of their specific areas of expertise. Number 4, does the team hold one another accountable for shared responsibilities? Every member of a CEO's team is responsible both for their specific operational or functional area and the enterprise level responsibilities they share as a team. Finding ways to bring the team together around a shared goal, such as a culture change or long-term blue sky planning, can reinforce the leadership team's shared responsibilities and provide a platform for team members to agree on how they will individually support the enterprise goals. The CEO's role is to ensure the team remains anchored to the long-term vision and how to get there, even as they tackle short-term goals. Number 5, do we make decisions and stick with them? The best teams actively debate the issues and then come together to work toward what was agreed upon. Some teams, though, don't fully deliberate, sometimes because leaders avoid challenging their peers, choosing to pick their battles, and sometimes because of behind the scene agreements not to challenge one another's projects. Now, on other teams, too much time is spent on driving consensus without coming to an agreement. The CEO's role is to make sure that diverse perspectives are heard and that debates lead to decisions. Now, once a decision is made, it's up to the team, and they're responsible for carrying out the decisions that were made. Number 6, are we making the most of our meeting time? Ideally, team meetings provide an environment where leaders can raise questions about key team issues, ask for help solving the problems they're facing, and focus on the work that only they can do. Also, cross-enterprise direction setting, resource sharing, prioritization, and roadblock removal. Now, everyone's engaged in contributing, and the team is drawing on all the minds around the table. Again, the CEO's role is to set the agenda for the meetings, keep discussions focused, and make sure they lead to decisions, and ensure that there are agreed upon norms for meeting behavior, such as attendance, participation, and even cell phone use. And finally, number 7, are we better together? High-performing teams also interact differently from lower-performing teams. For example, on higher-performing teams, individual leaders balance advocacy, pushing individual points of view with inquiry, listening to and building upon the opinions and ideas of others. They are outward-looking and focused on clients, markets, and competitors, and prioritize the needs of the overall business over their individual department or business unit. For example, a leader might be willing to give up headcount in order to serve a greater business purpose. They also use much more positive than negative language. Big key there. And they don't slip into bad habits when challenges arise or they're under extreme or increased pressure. Now, CEOs help create this environment by inviting the team into the dialogue. CEOs should also consider how their leadership style affects these team dynamics and being willing to adjust the style based on the situation. In conclusion, higher functioning senior teams that are aligned behind a clear vision and mission for the business have a multiplying power. Their influence radiates throughout the organization, influencing the decisions, behaviors, and engagement and work of the people at every level. CEOs should consider what kind of team they need for the business and how to foster that environment that makes that kind of team possible. Finally, fostering a high-performing team is a continual process, so requiring ongoing coaching is necessary. Also, regular interactions and clarity of purpose and mission. Now, this one was a long one today, but I wanted to make sure that we got this in because this was a very important one, especially for you guys that are in a position of authority, not just CEOs. All of this information can be used and applied where you are. Take the time to dissect it, listen to it again, and implement the best strategies to help you create an environment that's conducive to a high-performing team. All right? Guys, if you like these videos, and I'm pretty sure you do, or you wouldn't be watching, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos with other people in your sphere of influence. I'm sure if you're getting something out of them, other people can get something out of them too. All right? And remember, if you guys need any help with leadership development coaching, team building, or diversity training, please contact me and we'll sit down and put together a tailor-made plan to make you the leader that people want to follow and also help you create a team that is high-performing and consistently productive. All right? Thanks again, guys. And remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?